Give me just a minute. I know I'm running late. Give me just a minute. Trying to adjust my camera. I don't know what's going on. We're not going to worry about that, though. Not going to worry about that. All right. I can't get it together, so we're not going to worry about that. But good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the P-Ave Perspective. I'm your host, Mr. O'Neill. We're having some technical difficulties right now, but we're not going to worry about that. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Hopefully everybody had a great week. Continue to have a great week. But hopefully everybody's getting ready for that storm that's about to roll in. If you're in that area where the storm is in, hopefully everybody got together, got what they need, and tucked off, waiting to ride it out. But like I said, I'm Mr. O'Neill. Welcome to the P-Ave Perspective. And whether you tuning in to the live stream or you actually watching the video posted on YouTube, I appreciate you for taking the time out to check me out. But if this is your first time, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, a regular viewer, again, welcome. I appreciate you for tuning in. And we're going to try to do this every Thursday night at 8 p.m. And as always, we come together to talk about real life, real problems, and real solutions. But tonight's episode is entitled Vision Boards versus Real Plans. How to build a life strategy. How to build a life strategy. And like we all know, around this time, people have did their little New Year's resolutions, and people hopefully still tied in with their New Year's resolutions and trying to be better people, trying to live a better life, and all that good stuff. But again, before we go any further, like, please like the stream, share it with someone who needs direction or who you feel like needs to hear this, and drop a comment and let me know where you watching from. But as always, this conversation should be good, should be meaningful. But let's get right into it because I'm running late and I didn't mean to keep y'all waiting. But vision boards, vision boards. A vision board is something many of us are familiar with. A vision board is usually a collection of pictures, quotes, affirmations, and dreams and desires. And people usually make cardboard vision boards, or now you can do them online. Used to be poster boards, but a lot of people, there are apps to do them online now. And people post pictures and stuff of their goals. And people put cars, houses, vacations, businesses, relationships, money, all the things that they want on a board. Like I said, usually a cardboard, and now they have apps where you can do it on your app. But while there is nothing wrong with vision boards are just the beginning. Vision boards help you dream. They help you visualize a better future. They can motivate you emotionally. They can remind you that your current situation is not your final destination. But the truth is, the thing that we don't talk about enough is a vision board is an inspiration. It's not real instruction. A vision board shows you what you want, but it usually does not show you how you're going to get it. It doesn't show you what skills you need. It doesn't show what sacrifices are required. It doesn't show you what habits must change, what timeline you're working with. And that's where many people get stuck. That's where many people get stuck. And that's why I wanted to talk about tonight the difference between vision boards and real life plans, but and life strategy. But something that doesn't get talked about as much as vision boards is a real life strategy. A life strategy or plan answers questions like, where am I right now? Where am I trying to go? What resources do I have? What resources do I need? And what steps do I have to take first, second, and third? And basically, that's the difference between visualization and a real plan to make something shake or make it happen. Because a real plan includes clear goals, measurable outcomes, deadlines, skill development, financial planning, and accountability. And that's the main thing I've seen a lot when I deal with people, or I'm coaching people and working with people on bettering themselves and bettering their life. A vision board shows you the destination, but a life strategy, it builds the road. It actually builds the road, and roads are not always pretty. They require work, discipline, patience, and consistency. And a vision board doesn't show you that. A vision board doesn't really get into that. Just like I said, it's basically the visual. And like I said, while visualizing, helps a lot, it means nothing without actual work. So let's break this down in a way that is easy to understand. Like I said, a vision board focuses on desires. It feels good emotionally to be visualizing, and like you said, just seeing and actually planning the mental picture of what you want. And but it often lacks structure. A real plan focuses on execution. It requires discipline, it deals with reality, and has structure, and it has actual steps. So a vision board might say, I want to be wealthy. You might put a picture of money up there, and say, I want to be wealthy, or I want to be rich, or I want to make a lot of money. But a real plan is more detailed, and it asks, how much money is wealth to me? How much money is rich to me? What income streams will get me there? Like, what skills must I learn? What expenses must I control? And the danger of that is you can stare at a vision board for 10 years and still not and still be in the same place. You can put that vision board on the wall and you can visualize, and 10 years from now, if you're just visualizing, you'll still be in the same place. And that don't help, because wishing is not working. Simply not. Wishing is not working. But the consequences of having no real strategy is like when you don't have a plan for life, like we've heard before, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And what usually happens is you live in reaction mode. You react and you respond to emergencies instead of building stability. You drift instead of decide. Other people's priority becomes your direction, and you repeat cycles. Same problems, different year. And I know a lot of us have been through that. I've been through it myself. But you waste time and potential, because talent without direction stays trapped. Talent without direction stays trapped, and you stay vulnerable financially, emotionally, and mentally. And this is why so many people feel stuck, not because they're lazy, not because they're dumb, not because no one taught them how to plan, their, but because no one taught them how to plan their life strategically and execute. That's usually the reason why. And like I said, I know so many people have been through this. So many people have suffered with this, to the point where year after year you make those New Year's resolutions and they fizzle out. And that's, like I said, that's usually because you haven't been taught how to plan strategically. But tonight, like I said, that is the problem. But tonight, I want to give you some practical steps that you can take to start really planning and building a better life, building a better you. But step one is to get honest with yourself about where you are. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people, and like I said, I've spoke on it before, especially on this show, where a lot of people are claiming to be living their best life. But are you really? Are you progressing every day? Are you becoming a better person every day? Is your income increasing or every day? Are your skills being developed every day? Are you developing new skills? Are you getting better health wise? Are you getting into better relationships or finding better relationships? And is your mindset getting better? Are you going from that survival mindset to the thriving mindset? No judgment, just truth. You have to be honest with yourself. That's the first step. You have to get honest with yourself, because if nobody has a problem, then you don't have to change anything. And if you can't admit you have a problem, you're probably not going to change anything. You cool with where you are. But if not, it's time to get real with yourself. It's time to get real with yourself. And step two is define clear life areas. Break your life down into categories. Like I said before, that's the start. And those categories include finances, career or business, education, skills, health, family and relationships, spiritual and personal growth. Those are the areas where you have to break your life down into those areas and really analyze each one of those areas and Be honest with yourself. Are you happy with yourself in those areas? And if you're not, the good thing about it is you have the power to do something about it. But next, you need to set specific goals. Specific. And that's the key, specific goals. Because like I said, we make goals like I want more money. And just like I said, that's not a specific goal, that's a general goal. A more specific goal would be I want to increase my income by $1,000 a month in the next 12 months. That's more detailed, that's more specific. And that's really what you need to do in order to have real goals. Because in general, I want to make more money. That's not a real goal. And in order to really get into goals and set real goals, they have to be specific. Number 4 is identify the skills you need. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say they want to make more money, but then do you have the skills required to make more money? Do you possess those skills? And if not, you can learn those skills. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take some time, but we know you can go to school, trade schools, you can do online courses. There's so many ways, you know, you can tighten up your skills and increase your skill set, which will enable you to make more money. But every level requires a new skill set. And you have to ask yourself, who do I need to become to reach the goal? Because you're in control of that. But number 5, build a simple action plan. Action over everything. Visualization is good, but action, you know, is the works. So even praying without actually working is only going to get you so far. And everybody say, well, pray on it and ask God to give you, and that's true. But then it says somewhere in the Bible, I don't know the specific passage, but it says somewhere in the Bible that you have to put the work behind the belief. But build a simple action plan that includes daily actions, weekly priorities, and monthly checkpoints so you can gauge where you at, or you can gauge where you at. You know what I'm saying? At a specific time, meaning if I'm got action plans, am I accomplishing these actions? Am I accomplishing these goals? But next, one of the things a lot of us suffer with is accountability. Accountability. You are responsible for you. You are responsible for your actions. You are responsible for your inaction. And a lot of us are not holding ourselves accountable. That's one of the main reasons that we keep, dealing with the same stuff, and we keep failing over and over again. And since you suffer with that, you have to get to the point where you're accountable. And if you real with yourself and you understand that you're not accountable, there's ways around it. You can get a mentor who can hold you accountable. I talked about mentors last week. You can get a coach, a life coach that can hold you accountable, or an accountability circle, people in your family, who will hold you accountable and really be honest with you and tell you, hey, you're not handling your business. You slacking, you're letting things distract you, or you're letting people and situations distract you. So we have to be accountable for ourselves, or if we're not accountable, we have to surround ourselves with people who can hold us accountable. But we have to get it together, people. We have to get it together. And it's not going to happen overnight, but it's not going to happen at all if we don't make the decision and we don't start doing it. It's not going to happen at all. Like I said, with all the New Year's resolutions that we made this year, a lot of us know we made the same ones last year, and it fizzled out. And we in the same situation last year that we in this year. And everybody say new year, new you. And that's a good thing. That's a good goal. But without actual planning, without actually executing, without actually putting in the work, you just got a vision. You just have a vision. And like you said, you can have that vision for the next 10 years and still end up in the same place you are in right now if you don't put in the work. So we have to get serious about it. And just like I said, if it wasn't important, I wouldn't be talking about it. I want all my people to win. And it starts with us winning as individuals, us making a decision to change our lives and to come up with a plan, come up, you know what I'm saying, with a life strategy to execute and do better. But like I said, let me leave you with this, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to hold y'all too long. I'm having some technical difficulties. I really don't know if y'all seeing me or hearing me clearly, but I had to put in this work and I had to give y'all this week. But vision without strategy is fantasy. It's just fantasizing. Strategy without action is useless. Our communities don't just need more dreamers. We need more planners. We need more builders. We need more people willing to do the work behind the scenes. That's the only way we're going to get better. And like I said, in order for us to be a great community or a great people, it starts with us being great individuals. It starts with each one of us making a commitment to better ourselves, to better our personal lives, and then getting to a point where we can help make a difference in the lives of others. Simply what it is. But if tonight's message helped you in any kind of way, or you agree with the message, like, share the stream, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, start building a plan for your life. Start building a plan for your life, man. But this is the P-Ave Perspective with Mr. O'Neal. Again, hopefully, God willing, we'll do this next week. Same time, same place, next Thursday at 8. But I hope all y'all, like I said, are ready for the storm. And I hope everybody is safe, and hey, stay on the grind, man. Stay on the grind. Keep pushing. It get better. It get better. Regardless of how it may seem right now, you control your life. You control your future. You control the person you become. So I hope everybody becomes great. But peace. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And again, whether you're watching the live stream or whether you're watching the replay that I post on YouTube, I appreciate y'all for taking the time to tune in. And hopefully we'll get to do this again next week. Peace, my people.